People get this confused all the time. I'm in contact with hundreds of traders every day, be it in the premium channel or in the public Telegram, and people don't know how many altcoins should I hold, how much risk should I be exposed, how diversified should I be, what's the best recipe here. And even though there is no silver bullet answer to this, there are some clear ranges that make more sense than others. And yes, it does make sense to adopt this to the current market environment, so we're also going to talk about that in this video. Whenever we talk about altcoins, we should be considering how much are altcoins in general going to outperform. And what we've got over here is simply the Bitcoin price. It's relatively close to its all-time high now. It hasn't surpassed it yet though. Typically what happens is that first of all, we've got our bear market, then we consolidate at a level, and then Bitcoin rallies first. Once Bitcoin has rallied enough, then a rotation happens and some of the gains that have been made with Bitcoin go over to the altcoin. We've seen this in pretty much any cycle, and I want to show you how this was in the last cycle and where we are currently at in the current cycle. So have a look at the last bear market in 2018. We went down by more than 80%. We then went up from roughly 3K all the way to 68, 69K, so more than a 20x. But there was a point at around 40K where Bitcoin simply just continued to go sideways somewhat, right? Where the momentum was lost. Now have a look at this metric here. This is the value days destroyed. This shows us what the long-term holders tend to do. And exactly here at the beginning of 2021, when Bitcoin was around 40K or so, a lot of long-term holders sold and Bitcoin dominance peaked. So as a fraction of all of crypto, Bitcoin was at the top. Bitcoin still continued to go up a bit more from that, right? 50%, but still the altcoins then outperformed once the long-term holders sold into the rally. There's another very similar metric. This is the market value to realized value Z-score that also peaked pretty much at the same time in February of 2021, again when Bitcoin dominance peaked, when the Bitcoin price didn't go up that much anymore, but the altcoins did. Because a crash in Bitcoin dominance from 70% all the way down to 40 means in return that the altcoin dominance went up by 175%, or from 13% of all of crypto to 36%. And so where are we now today in all of this? We haven't yet peaked in the value days destroyed. We are not yet in a red area here. The market value to realized value Z-score is creeping up, but very far from the peak. And the Bitcoin dominance still has quite some way to go to get into somewhat of a comparable territory compared to the last peak. This video is sponsored by the Premium membership. I never take any money from any crypto project. I never take any affiliate links from centralized exchanges. I never pump and dump coins. Instead, I offer valuable tutorials in the Premium membership. Feel free to check it out. Now, how does this answer the question how many altcoins to hold? Again, it's dependent on the market condition. If there is an altcoin rally and all the altcoins tend to outperform, then it makes sense to simply spray and pray, to have a lot of altcoins, to be under allocated to Bitcoin, to have rather the minority of a portfolio in Bitcoin. However, when we are not there, as right now, where we have got Bitcoin dominance creeping up, it makes sense to be rather opportunistic about altcoin investment. I think it makes sense in the current market environment to simply just hold altcoins short term, to hold a few altcoins where you think you've got a knowledge edge, where you might know the project a bit more, and to still have the majority of money in Bitcoin. In aggregate, right now, the risk of being in an altcoin doesn't yet get rewarded. So don't have an altcoin portfolio of 20 or 30 positions. In general, I don't think it's good to have that many positions. If you buy a lot of different altcoins, 20, 30, 40 different altcoins in order to diversify, then that's the wrong approach, because you already get the price diversification effect after 10 tokens. If you hold more than 10, you're rather diluting yourself. So simply pick your best bets. This has three positive effects. First of all, you know more about each individual project because you don't have to follow so many. Second, it's easier to exit. So once you want to sell, you don't have to unwind so many positions, incurring potentially a lot of fees. And third, the market edge that you might have in your particular coins, where you know something really materializes. You're not just betting on the altcoin market as a whole to outperform. You might even do better than the altcoin market in aggregate because you put some focus on a few nice winners. Don't understand me wrong. I do believe that altcoins will do well, especially in US dollars. But right now, I think it's better, risk adjusted, to simply just lever up Bitcoin a bit, maybe by 1.3x, and ride the current Bitcoin dominance wave. All prices are going up now, including altcoins, but altcoins as a whole are likely not going to do as well as Bitcoin just yet. We do see that the market in aggregate is expanding. For example, this is the stablecoin market cap, and that went down after the Terra Luna collapse. It crashed quite a bit, but it turned around in October of last year. Now money is flowing into crypto again. People deposit into centralized exchanges. The centralized exchanges send that money over to Tether. Tether then prints new tokens. And the token printing can be seen on chain, and it goes up, meaning money is flowing into everything. Crypto is going up. It's simply just not going up that much compared to Bitcoin just yet, because there's also a lot of buying pressure from the ETFs. So let's wait until the long-term holders sell. Let's wait until the value days destroyed metric goes up. Let's wait until the market value to realized value metric goes up, and then have a broadly diversified portfolio of altcoins. Only at that point it makes sense to sell a lot of the Bitcoin and switch this over to the altcoins, get more risk on, and take more profit. A lot of people think that there's a constant relationship between risk and return, but it's actually not constant. There are times in the market where it does pay to get into risk and other times where it does not. Right now, don't overexpose yourself in risk. At least that's what I personally do. I stay away from too many altcoins. I simply just get into them when I believe I have an edge in it. I believe that I know something others don't, and thus get some alpha from this. If it's your first time here, feel free to subscribe. I publish videos regularly. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. There's also a free Telegram. The link is down below.